Hello, welcome back to your friend's Cold Tangent, where we say, Susan, please come back with the kids. I really miss them. Anyways, before the video starts, I'd like to bring out a small thank you to my friend Yin Yang for making this. It's like a little dude. It's a copy of my mask. I love it. Thank you, dude. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Alright, so let's do we're using the whiteboard today. Yeah, we live in large. I'll write out our topic of the day. How to kill the sun. The topic of the day, folks. How to kill the sun. An unofficial report on how to destroy what causes life on this planet. By Tangent. Now, if you are like me, and you hate happiness, light, and a good source of vitamin D, you've probably seen that the biggest, and I mean biggest, thing blocking you from your quest for despair and darkness is a celestial object. I have to draw that right here. Yeah, see? Celestial object. We need to kill it. The first step in the process, or rather, let's not get to that just yet. Say, we have some work to do if we want to cause darkness and despair. So, if and when you want to kill the sun, you're going to need a few things. First of all, you need some kind of cooling mechanism. I would personally recommend an LG freezer screw it. An extremely large freezer. I don't know how else to say it. You need to be able to fit at least 2 stars inside of it. You know? Straighten my tie. Yeah, I'm sure you can get it somehow. I mean, if you're gonna kill the sun, you're gonna need to do it right. This, of course, will be used later in the process. Next up, you'll need some sort of time dilation method. Like, the best choice, in my opinion, is to get a rocket moving close to the speed of light for a certain amount of time. So, still a little bit of math, y'all. Using this thing I found online called the Omni Calculator, I figured out that if you want to go to a point where the sun begins to weaken, in about 2 or 3 billion years, you're gonna need to go incredibly close to the speed of light for the turbodilation to be at least less than a year. You know? Because I think we don't want to spend more than a year on a rocket ship going at high speeds. That could do something to your body, I think. With that said, the next thing you need is a lot of time in your hands. Destroying the sun can't just be a hobby that you're setting out for. You have to be devoted by this point. By now, you've made a fridge the size of 2 stars. And you made or stole a ship or contraption that gets scarily close to the speed at which light moves. By now, you have to be willing to risk not only your life, but your time as well. That's not even taking into account the celestial implications of having multiple objects in space of high mass and disrupting the flow of gravity in the solar system, for crying out loud. Now, personally, this is where I would stop, of course. I've already gone beyond the lengths of human comprehension, and I don't want to leave my friends and family for my conquest of darkness and despair. However, I'm sure at least half my viewers are absolute psychopaths. I know most of you. You are psychos. But you're silly. Sorry, let me just straighten up my outfit. Seem to have gotten a little disheveled. Alright, now, since you're still here, you have to obviously hate the sun. And that's what you got you here in the first place. But I don't mean just hate, I mean a literal grudge. Maybe it's just spite for me saying it'll be hard, but no, at this point you have to, like, the sun must have slept with your wife or something, because obviously you want to kill this thing until it's dead for real, for real. Let's put our plan in action, why don't we? So we start up our mega engines, and as we boost forward blazingly close to the speed at which light moves, and you just kind of wait out the flight for a while. You see that Earth has become uninhabitable. You need a crack of the legs to make an omelet, am I right? Luckily, you brought your human consciousness-infused robots and your Nintendo Switch, so I think you'll be fine, you know? But, you know, it's a long time. After a couple games of Cards Against Humanity with some of those goofy-eye robots, you pull out your multiple millennia old God mode fridge and put the sun inside. You wait a while. Actually, here, let's do a bit of demonstration. Arrow. There's the demonstration. You wait a while, maybe go a couple rounds in the mega ship until it's eventually cooled to perfection. Once the rest of the hydrogen dissipates, it will become a dwarf and you'll completed your goal. Right? Wrong. The sun will stay alive and start a contraction process, which takes a bit more than 2 billion years. This, of course, is not good. We want to be able to see the star die. We want to see it explode. We don't want to wait. Now is when we must change the course of our plan. Instead of freezing the sun and sponsoring decay, we should try to stop the fusion in its core, rather than freezing the corona. So, see over here, we were just freezing like the outside of the sun. Instead, we should try to go inside the sun, and inside the sun, there's like a giant, core. Is that an Undertale reference? Sans my bad, guys. Instead of freezing the sun and sponsoring decay, we should try to stop the fusion in the core itself. And, rather than freezing the corona, and kind of just make the hydrogen inside the sun become unstable. Sorry. The first thing we need for this plan is some kind of way to bombard the sun with neutrons. Now, let's say you somehow get this neutron bombardment equivalent of a mega Gatling gun. And I can penetrate the sun down to its core, which is going to be demonstrated right here. It's like a Gatling gun, you know, normal, but it shoots neutrons. I should probably, I hate this whiteboard. Should probably put the sun here. Yeah. Yeah, so it just shoots neutrons. N for neutrons. Personally, I don't know how on God's green earth you managed to get this super beam, but props to you, I guess. The most important thing, though, is having a way to control it. The recommended path is a capsule for breathing, a Logitech controller, and 5 billion... Sorry, my bad. I mean the recommended path is a terminal with controls, a pod for you to breathe in, and you should bring some pets and video games along. But, you know, it sounds a little complicated, but you already have a super beam weapon already. I'm sure you can slightly modify it to allow with a capsule for breathing and pets and games and entertainment and food. Yeah, you know what I mean? Now that you have your control panel, entertainment, and friends along the way, you should be ready to start firing your beam at the sun. This process may take a while, which is why we brought the games and the pets. The most important part is that this entire bit is hypothetical, and some insane stuff I came up with when making the script. If my theory works, then your beam will fire neutrons into the sun's core, colliding with the plasma, and the neutrons will fuse with protons and electrons, making it unstable hydrogen, and it'll decay faster, moving the power source, ergo making the process from plan 1 go faster. Now, while we wait for the beam to do its thing and all that jazz, I'd like to ask all of you to please subscribe. You may know I am bonkers, right? Yeah, I've been racing subscribers since like I was at 27 subscribers. I'm currently at like 67. He's at like 245. I need to beat him. Please help. But yeah, just please subscribe, click the silly little button, all that jazz. Oh, what? That never happened. The beam finally finished. Now that the sun's core has run out of fuel, let's just use the hypothetical speed contraption from plan 1 and speed things up a bit. And go like, wee, wee, wee. Just casually take this thing for a spin for about half a year in observer time. Yeah, you know what I mean. I need to adjust this camera, my bad. And we return from the contraption to see that the sun has decayed into a white dwarf. According to many, many sources, at this point it is basically dead. But let's assume the sun did some real bad stuff to you. Like it killed your family, or ate the last slice of pizza, and you want to stop collectively existing altogether. That's gonna be a bit more hard. But I'd like to ask I'd like to ask all of you, please go down to the comments and tell everyone what the sun did to deserve your rage. Now, around here is where the methods get pretty hypothetical, and I don't necessarily condone them nor deny them. Just a viewer warning. If you want to literally explode or destroy the sun, you will need a bomb that has a focused blast more powerful than any nuclear bomb that we have here on Earth. Including the Tsar Bomba, which is like the most powerful bomb in the Earth. I don't know. Russians, am I right? Which, honestly, is not too easy to make, if I do say so myself. Which I don't. But, using the special math in the paper made by Alexander Bonkin and Joseph Friedlander, we'd only need like a half a megaton detonated far into the photosphere to trigger a fusion cascade, so I think we're pretty good on this bit. The only problem is that sounds a little hard, don't you think? Alright, so let's look at some other ideas on the list that I found. Alright, this idea says that if we make a chunk of iron 1/100th of the sun's size, so like it's a sphere of iron, about like 1/100th of the sun, easy dub, spin it super fast, and then drop it on the stellar North Pole, the sun will literally break. That sounds very, very fun, but not feasible. Not feasible at all. We want something that's fun, feasible, and destructive. You know? Now, sorry. This next idea that I found sounds pretty promising. Increase the mass of the sun until it reaches its limit and sure it explodes into a supernova. The idea sounds fun, destructive, and if I'm correct, then we could just put a couple, like, systems into the sun and it would work. Fun. The only problem, though, is that grabbing the planets would be a little hard to do so using the technology we have. Don't you think? Yeah. So, let's look at the next idea. I've spent the last hour scouring the internet for any clue as to when the Earth would get sucked up by a black hole. I couldn't find anything. The internet is worthless, you know that? Now that we've reviewed most of the plans we could use to literally destroy the sun, let's try and decide, because not all of these can be done, right? Yeah. Huh? Oh, yeah. Because if it doesn't completely work, then, you know, if you try to kill someone and it doesn't work, they're gonna be alive and mad, right? Yeah, we don't want the sun to get mad at us, so we need to make sure it actually works. If you want to look cool, I'd recommend hypothetical plan 2, if I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, the sun flattens and breaks due to a spinning iron ball? Your greatest enemy, going out in fashion. Here, let's do a little bit of demonstration up here. Where'd my marker go? Here it is. Let's see if here, yeah. Spinning iron ball. Sun flat now. And then I'm losing my sanity with the passing moment. However, it would not work, most likely, because in the article I was reading, the person had a really silly attitude, so, yeah. I personally would not trust it. If you want it to be extra destructive, hypothetical plan 1 is definitely the way to go. The sun is essentially just a large hydrogen bomb, but it doesn't have an activator. So, that's just us applying the activator, right? Yeah. And then it just starts a chain reaction across the sun, overall destroying it, and sorry, I'm tired. Lastly, if you want it to be easy, I would say you should go with hypothetical plan 3. Like, it would cost a lot. It would cost more money than the American government owes, but it would be funny. 'Cause boom, bombs. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Anyways. But yeah, decreasing the mass causes it to collapse, increasing causes it to also collapse. So the obvious answer, if you've gotten this far, is to increase the mass until a supernova happens. Now that we've chosen our method, we just need to do a quick Google search to figure out how to do it. And real quick, I'm going to wipe off the whiteboard, because we have another entire set of stuff to do. Where did my eraser go? Alright. All it takes is a quick Google search to figure out the sun would need to be about 20 times its own mass and about to collapse. So we need to combine all the planets in our solar system, right? So, trying out all planets. So, sun plus, I think let's include Pluto, right guys? Yeah. 9p equals, IDFK. I don't know. I don't know what it equals, guys. And but if it's sun plus like 30 planets, plus 2 3s, which is for stars, then yeah. Alright, so when you combine all the planets in the solar system and the systems around us to be thrown into Sol so it can explode into a supernova. Easy dub. We got this. We just have to spend a few years going at unimaginable speeds and using impossible objects to disrupt gravitational fields and, you know, destroy a star. Anyways, oh, my bad. Picture this. You're speeding through the vacuum you've called home for the past year or so. You spent some time brainstorming, and you're going to bring planets and the star of Alpha Centauri to Sol using your not-so-many Friga's gravity. That's all I have to say. And so you spend your later years collecting stars and planets to throw into the sun you called home for so long. Take a second to ask, what was it all for? Okay, let's ask the question. Answer the question in the comments. What was it all for? That's a great question, in my opinion. But, you know, don't answer that. Because if you're truly doing this, you'd quickly dismiss the idea, as you lost your sanity from isolation long ago. Reaches its supernova climax. You think, just one more planet, one more star maybe, then it'll all be over. In fact, and perhaps to allow for greater comprehension, I should make this fake journal entry. You're 16. Or 30. I lost track of time around year 10. All I know is that the job should be done soon. I've forgotten why I am at this point. All I feel, all I remember, all I know, all I am. Bring the mass to Sol. Log end. You managed to find the last objects needed. You speed back to the sun with ecstasy, knowing you'll finally be able to beat this thing. Before you chuck the final planet into the sun, you look around your pod. Decayed pet bodies, scratches on the walls, food wrappers, broken playground equipment, dirty water, a foul odor from all sides. You stopped questioning this long ago, but you can't help but feel ashamed. Ashamed you did this. You dismiss the broken state of your home and blast the full-scale planet into the star, as well as a few asteroids, just to be safe. You wait an hour. You wait a day. In fact, you wait like 5 days. Let's go with that. Then you look back at it after those 5 days or so. You wonder, what could be wrong? You start to break. Course. You willingly pull the controls to the star when the star finally explodes. As you feel the warm embrace of the supernova, you finally wonder what it was all for truly. You wonder why you did this you finally did it for the first time in years. The effect of what has happened sets in. You have sacrificed your entire species, your pets, your life, your money, your job, yourself, and a chunk of the galaxy. You think to what ends you would have gone. As your life flashes before your eyes, you remember. For the first time in many, many years, you remember. The pizza. The last special pizza you'd ever taste was taken from you by the sun. Your son. Your son. The nitrous oxide wears off. You wake up in the hospital bed, worn out from the years of your life spent in a vacuum, or so you remember. The hospital quickly transforms into an alleyway as a man in a coat gives you 2 small pills. You reject them by turning away to see a ball of hydrogen gas on his knees, sitting next to you. It stretches out an arm to you, and suddenly you're enveloped in shadows. The strange man comes up to you once more, offering water with the pills. The star-seeming person to your left feeds you the 2 pills and water. You black out. And after a few hours, familiar faces appear. A doctor and your daughter are present. Your daughter to your left. The doctor sits back down as you notice the cop in your doorway, next to your distressed wife, who's in all black. You black out once more. In a dreamlike state, you look up to see a star, but not just any star, the sun. The sun grows a mouth and eyes suddenly, and asks, it asks, "Why did you kill me, Father?"